Super 8 is a movie set in 1979 about a group of kids who are making Super 8 films. It's just the film format, Super 8. And they're making a zombie movie, and they're just this sort of funny, odd group of kids. And something actually terrifying then happens to them and their community. And so that's sort of the catalyst for the story. But ultimately, it's a story about a son and his father, a boy and this girl, sort of a love story. It's a little bit of a monster movie. It's a comedy. It's a drama. It's sort of all sorts of things that I love in movies, sort of combined in some strange cocktail. Well, the thing is that I didn't realize until later why I called him so quickly. And it wasn't just because he was sort of a hero of mine. It was because that period of time in my life that I thought was worth revisiting in a movie was so massively impacted by him and his work that it felt like not only would he perhaps help get a movie like that made, because at the time I didn't know there was going to be a genre element attached to it. I just kind of thought it was a cool way in. But I just knew that he would embrace the sort of the spirit of that era as much as he would help me make a better movie, and he did both. It was in no way intended to be a Steven Spielberg homage, but what was intended was to go back to that time. But like I said, that time in itself was so formed by the films and that he had made, the work that he was doing, that it's almost impossible to disconnect sort of the effect of Spielberg and his films on me and my friends at that time in our lives. So it wasn't like, let's steal this moment from that movie and rip that off and copy that. It was all about what is it like to be a kid in this time, and what did that feel like? And this movie is really more about depicting that than it was about a direct homage. Having said that, it's a Steven Spielberg produced film. It's an Amblin film. This movie, by default, kids, late 70s, something sort of supernatural happening. I mean, it shares the DNA with a lot of the other Amblin films. It was frightening the first few days, truly, because it was a leap of faith that everyone took, including Joel, to star in this movie. I mean, this movie was riding on him. And frankly, for the first few days, I think he and I were, we were all, I think, just trying to get our bearings and praying that it was going to work. And 3 days in, I just felt everything go, click, and just start to get better and work. But the very beginning was just, I think he had never been on the set of anything. So I can imagine how overwhelming it would be for a 14-year-old boy to have all the eyes upon him, knowing that he's, in a sense, the main character of this film, yet he did an amazing job.